Alright, you're welcome back to class. We all know that biology in Jupeb is subdivided into four. The first, which is Bio 1. Bio 1 tells us about general biology. Then the next is Bio 2. Bio 2 is all about microbiology. The third, which is Bio 3. Bio 3 is all about botany. And Bio 4, which is zoology. So of all this biology, two of it are usually taken per semester. So Bio 1 and Bio 2 are usually taken in the first semester, while the rest, which is Bio 3 and O 4, are taken in second semester. Right. So of the second semester courses that we'll be dealing with, we'll be picking Bio 3 as one of our courses for today, Bio 3. Does that make sense? Which means that we are taking botany. So, what is botany? Botany is the study of plants, which means that as far as this course is concerned, we'll be talking basically on plants. But then, plant itself belongs to a particular kingdom called Kingdom Plantae. We have several kingdoms as far as organisms in biology are concerned. So basically, we have about five kingdoms. The first one is called the Kingdom Animalia. The next is called the Kingdom Plantae. And then this Plantae is actually what we're dealing with now, which is the study of plants. Then we have the Kingdom Fungi. Then we have the Kingdom Monera. The Kingdom Monera is basically talking about bacteria. And lastly, we have the Kingdom Protista. Okay, these are the five major kingdoms. Now, there is a particular kingdom which is actually the viruses. Viruses are not usually classified as one of the kingdoms that we have. Reason being that viruses possess a dual nature of living. In other words, they can either live as living things or exist as living things or as non-living things. In that sense, we cannot really classify virus as part of the kingdoms for living things because of their dual nature. So in that sense, we are focusing on the kingdom plantae. So the kingdom plantae is basically divided into two. We have the cryptograms and we have the phanerogams. Now the cryptograms are called the non-flowering and seedless plants. In other words, they do not make flowers and they don't also possess seeds. But then the phanerograms possess seeds. In other words, they are plants or seed-bearing plants. Now, under the non-flowering plants, they are further divided into two. We have those that possess vascular bundles and those that do not possess vascular bundles. Now, what does it mean for a plant to possess vascular bundles? It means that the plants possess both phloem and xylem. All right. So when a plant possess both phloem and xylem, we say that the plants possess vascular bundles. Now, note that the pteridophytes, which are a kind of plants, do you understand, are examples of cryptograms that possess vascular bundles. Now, for those that do not possess vascular bundles, they are classified basically into two, the Talophyta and the Bryophyta. Now, the word phyta there means plants, right? And the word phyta here too means plants. Later, we'll be talking about why it is tallow and why it is bryo. But the word tallow means talos, right? It means that their body parts are not differentiated. Now, the Talophyta, we have certain examples under the Talophytas, which are the bacteria, the algae, fungi, and lichen. Now, under the bryophytes, we have Riccia, just an example of a bryophyte. That's what we mean. So, but for Talophyta, we have all those groups under it. So for algae, we have something to study there. Now, for bacteria, we've done that. in our previous class. So we are focusing basically on algae now. And then from there, we'll move to fungi and to lichen. All right, that ends the classification for non-flowering plants, or what you call non-flowering and seedless plants, or better still, you call them lower plants or cryptograms. So basically, in most textbooks, it will be classified into cryptograms and phanerogams. But you must know that cryptograms are plants, but not just plants, lower plants that possess no flower and are seedless. While for phanerograms, they possess seeds, or we say that they are plants possessing seeds or plants having seeds. So for all phanerograms, they possess vascular bundles, which means that they have both xylem and they possess what? Phloem. Okay, that is what it means to possess vascular bundles. This, in a way, tells us that most of the plants under the phanerograms are higher plants. They are not like the cryptograms. Do you understand? And that's why they possess the vascular bundles. Now, majorly, plants that possess vascular bundles has phanerograms. We can have some other plants possessing vascular bundles and are not still classified as phanerograms, which are the pteridophytes, which means that the pteridophytes are very close to the spermatophytes, but they are not spermatophytes for reason we will be taking in due time. All right. So in that sense, we have the spermatophyta. These spermatophytas too are further divided into two. We have the gymnosperm and the angiosperm. Now, for the gymnosperms are the non-flowering plants. Example, we have the pinus, the cycas, and so on. For angiosperm, they are flowering. Okay. For gymnosperm, they are non-flowering, but that does not mean that they don't possess seeds. They possess seeds. Okay. This one are flowering, this ones are non-flowering. So we have spermatophytes that are not flowering, and we have spermatophytes that are flowering. Those that possess flowers are known as the angiosperm, and those that do not possess flowers are known as the gymnosperms. So for angiosperm, it is further divided into dicots and monocots, right? So for the dicots, they do not possess fruits. In other words, they don't bear fruits. Do you understand? But for monocots, they bear fruits, and that's why we can get maize, right? So which means that mango is a fruit-bearing plant, hence it should be classified under angiosperm. While sunflower do not bear fruits. Hence, it is classified under diocots. There are many other reasons that a plant is classified under diocots and not monocots, and which will be unfolding on the next page.